Hey guys, what's up? It's Katie and I'm back with this quick little video. Now, we all know that back issues number 3, aka variant number 3, is coming very soon, next month in fact, and it's going to be Polar Opposites, which was when it was the Magneto event. I think it was when Magneto Marvel Now, aka White Magneto, was introduced. So I'm pretty pumped about that, and as with all of the variants, we will be getting a rank up gem. Now, the cool thing about this one is variant 1 and 2, you know, we can only use it on 2015 champs, right? Well, with this one, we can use it on 2015 or 2016 champs. So I've got all of the champs from 2015 and 2016, and this came from Trucos, as you can see. If you don't follow Trucos, I highly recommend it. He puts out great content, so we kind of know what's going on, the ins and outs, that sort of thing. So in 2016, there were a bunch of mutants released, right? We had Rogue, Nightcrawler, Blue Cyclops, Old Man Logan, Beast, Gambit, X-23, and then with skill, we had Agent Venom, Dollar Store Blade, Falcon, Karnak, Crossbones, Black Panther, Civil War, and then in science, we had Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Quake, She-Hulk, and Red Hulk. In Mystic, we had Loki, Ghost Rider, Mordo, and Dr. Voodoo. And then in Cosmic, we had Venompool, Miss Marvel, aka Kamala Khan, Hyperion, and Thanos, which I'm going to pretty much leave Thanos out of what's coming next. Phoenix, and then in the Tech Champs, we had Civil Warrior, Labyrinth of Legends, Ultron, and Howard the Duck. Now, I do want to make a quick little statement. So, prior to me making these graphics and, using Trucos's graphic here, Kabam Mike posted on the forums that Labyrinth of Legends Ultron was actually introduced in 2017, but I could have sworn he was released in 2016. But according to Kabam Mike, that was in 2017. So now the question comes, well, who should I use this gem on, right? There's a lot of decent options in 2016, especially some that have gotten a buff or are about to be getting a buff. So let's go ahead and just kind of go class by class and see who are the best options to use this on. So for the mutant class, I think there are 3 really good options for this. You got X-23, Rogue, and Old Man Logan. Now, Old Man Logan, I think, he's getting the buff next month. He seems, based on what information was released, that he's going to be great for questing. He's going to have that regen. He's going to do crit bleed, which I think is going to be awesome. Rogue is extremely underrated. If you have not gone through Act 5 yet, she is the Act 5 MVP. She can lifesteal off her Special 1, Power Steal off her Special 2. Sure, she doesn't hit that hard, but those 2 options make her very underrated, and I think a lot of people kind of forget about Rogue, especially with champs like Omega Red, who do essentially the same things, but they kind of do a little bit more damage. And X-23, I think, out of these mutants in 2016, is the best option for this gem. Number 1, she gets good bleeds, and if you come across an opponent that is bleed immune, instead of, just still kind of not hitting hard, she hits harder, she builds cruelty buffs, so I think that makes her awesome. Plus, she has really good regen. I think a lot of people forget about her too. She kind of falls along the wayside, but I think she's another really good option for this gem. So moving on to the skill class, there are 3 options here. I kind of think that Crossbones, I know I'm going to say it, Karnak, and Falcon are the better options in this class. Now, Falcon, he does alright damage, he can get a decent bleed, but if you get that locked on an evade champ, it'll stop them from evading. So that can make him really useful against the Spideys, Nightcrawler, that sort of thing. And Karnak can hit really hard. His Special 2 does a ton of damage when he's focused. Plus, he's got a great synergy with Medusa. So he would be another really good option to take up. But I think the best option out of these skill champs is no question Crossbones. And Crossbones can hit really hard. He builds up those furies and he doesn't crit, which makes him great against champs like Mr. Sinister, who can regen off critical hits. So he's definitely worth it. Now moving on to the science class, this one's a little bit tougher, right? A little bit. So the three I think that would be beneficial out of this are She-Hulk, Red Hulk, and Quake. Now, Red Hulk, if you have the Domino synergy, if you have the Flaming Trinity, he's awesome for that. Definitely want to take him up for that. He doesn't necessarily need to be awakened. Just chain throw your special one and build up those heat charges and watch the damage roll. Quake, we all know that if you can play Quake style, you have essentially beat the game. There's really not a lot that can't phase her. So, but she's an excellent champ to play if you know how to play Quake style. But I think the best option out of here is She-Hulk. She just recently got buffed, and she is a great counter to the 6.2.6 champion boss. Just start with a 4-hit combo, heavy, knock him down, heavy, bait out the special one, rinse and repeat, and you've essentially got a one-shot at the 6.2.6 champion boss. So I think that would make her the best option out of the science class for 2016. So moving on to Mystic, who are the best champions out of this? Honestly, I think it's Ghost Rider, Loki, and Dr. Voodoo, unless you would need a prestige, and then I'd say Mordo, but even then, just no. So Loki, I think he would be an all right choice for this. You know, he can steal buffs. He gets good power gain when he's awakened, and he puts the curse on you after the special 3. So I think he would be a good contender for this. Dr. Voodoo, if he's awakened, hands down would be definitely a contender for this rank up gen. He's got ability accuracy reduction, power drain, power burn, a spirit venom. The list goes on and on with Dr. Voodoo. I think a lot of people do forget about Dr. Voodoo, but he is one that we shouldn't necessarily forget about and is definitely in the contention for the rank up gen. However, I think the best option for this is Ghost Rider. I may be taking mine up to 565. So Ghost Rider is great, especially if you have Blade, right? He helps Blade out a bunch with the danger sense. But if you think about it, he gets a bleed. He can stagger his opponents. Well, not stagger, fate seal, excuse me. He can power drain off his special 2, essentially degen off his special 3. And if he's awakened, he can get a Fury. Plus, if you throw your heavy, he can regen. So, and the length of time that all of those abilities happen is based on the judgments that you have. So, you know, if you want to have a longer Fury, wait until your last judgment is on to throw that Fury, and you'll be hitting really hard. So that's why I think Ghost Rider is definitely the number 1 contender in the Mystic for 2016 for that gem. Okay, so let's move on to Cosmic. And this one is a little bit tough, right? There's a really good one in here and some that are just meh. And like I said, I'm just completely negating Thanos out of this. So we're just going to pretend like he's not there. Okay, so I think that the 3 top for this one is Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, Phoenix, and Hyperion. Now, Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, she may be getting a buff. She was on that list to potentially get a buff. So that would be super awesome if that would happen in the near future. How near future? I don't know. No one really knows, right? But if you can build her Furies off throwing her specials, and you build up enough Furies, she's going to start hitting like a truck. I mean, Swadia has a 565 Kamala Khan. He took her because he likes her, and she can actually do a decent amount of damage. Now, Phoenix, if you play Phoenix right, she is another champion who can do a ton of damage. The best way to do it with Phoenix is to throw heavies until you get enough Phoenix charges, launch your special 1, and boom, you're up to a special 3 like that. So she's another really good contender. Plus, if you get in a jam and she's awakened, she essentially has that cheat death with the Phoenix Force. So that's another really good option. The best option in the Cosmic class, though, I believe is Hyperion. I took my Hyperion up to 565, and I haven't regretted it since. He can do a ton of damage. You build up his heavies, you build up Furies by throwing his heavy. He gets Incinerate off of his special 1. He can stun you or armor break you off your special 2, and we all know what it's like to eat a Hyperion special 3, right? I mean, it's bad. So, plus, you know, he can regen. He's got great power gain. It makes him so great for specific nodes. He's great in Act 5 if you haven't gone through Act 5. He was my MVP pretty much for Variant and a lot of Act 6. So he is definitely the top contender, I believe, for this rank up gem in 2016. Now the tech class. The tech class is kind of lacking in 2016, isn't it? Right? We got 3 champs in here, and technically, according to Kabam Mike, Labyrinth of Legends Ultron really shouldn't even be included in there. So honestly, of these 2, I would say, you know, Howard the Duck, he's okay. He can hit hard. He's got a lot of armors. You build up the Furies, he can hit hard. His special 2 can do a ton of damage. He can power drain, he can poison, he can heal block you off his special 2. Plus, if you kind of get in a dire situation and you lose health, you can either regen and put a Thunder Quack on your opponent, which will essentially is like a damage over time debuff. So, but all honesty, I think Civil Warrior is the best one out of this for the 2016 Tech Champs. I think Civil Warrior is kind of underrated. He's got heal block off of his heavy. He builds armor ups off his special 1. If he gets more than 5 armor ups, he has ability accuracy reduction. He power drains off his special 2, and he also power drains off his special 3. So he's great for regen champs. A lot of people sometimes forget about him. He kind of falls along the wayside. But that's all that I got. That's who I would take up if I had this 2016 rank up gem. And I know some of mine are already up, but who would you guys take up? Do you agree with some of my choices, or would you take up a totally different champ? Let me know in the comments below and let's discuss. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching. If you guys liked what you saw and you want to see more, please remember to like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Bye, guys.